Chord note solos, strong jazz lines with awesome rhythm. Chord note solos instantly boost your jazz skills using this method. Playing chord note solos really improves your overview of any tune. You learn the sound of the tune and the functions of the chords. Playing chord note solos should be one of your basic jazz skill sets, and you really need to get your basic skill sets down to be able to use them well. Your basic skill set starts with knowing all the chord notes and how to play solos using these. Boost your jazz skills, practice your chord note solos, play strong rhythmic melodies. In this tutorial, why are the chord notes more important than the scales? What chord notes can I use to play a solo? Play 100 guide tone lines. Use rhythm, improvise guide tone lines and more chord notes. Spice it up, quarter notes and eighth notes, and add even more chord notes. Show, play and analyze a short solo on Take the A Train using chord notes and guide tone lines. Hi there, I'm Søren and welcome to Søren Saxophone Lessons. Why are chord notes more important than the scales? Melody, together with chord notes, form the harmonic layout of any tune, whereas scales have all notes in them and in this way more chords and functions. The chord is much more specific in the harmony and the scale is much broader. Depending on what note you play in a scale, you get different functions. Take for example this D major scale. For every step in the scale we have a chord with a function in the scale. The whole scale contains tons of functions. When we zoom in on one of the chords we get a specific function. For example the A7. When you look at the A7 you get leading tones towards the D major 7. You get the tritone interval. You get a row of notes with thirds distance. Leading tones, the C sharp leading to the D. The E going to the D. The G leading to the F sharp. And the A staying. This all gives you the A7 dominant function, which clearly leads towards the root chord of the scale. The A7 leading to D major 7. So the chord tells you a more accurate story in contrast to the whole scale. This is of course when you just play the whole scale, all the notes. When you fit the scale to the chord, it's another matter. This I've covered in another video. Check the links below in the description. What chord note can I use to play a solo? You can use all chord notes when you play a solo. What matters is what you want to achieve with your solo. When you play, I think it's important to make a strong melody. A strong melody is a melody which connects. There are many ways to connect melodies and one of the strongest is notes which are leading towards each other. These are often notes which are lying next to each other. This is what we call a guide tone line. I described the guide tone line and how to play it in another video, and really check this video, it's very important. Check it in the description below. It's called Jazz Chords. In the Jazz Chords video I also mention a couple of basic chord exercises you need to learn to get a good grip on the chord tones. To really get into the chords you need to know these exercises very well. You need to know the chords. Again, I make a reference to one of my videos, the 8 most important chord note patterns you need to know. Check the video. Sorry for all the references, but if you're not completely familiar with all the chord notes, go through the other videos and run the chord patterns. The chord notes you can use for a chord note solo are all of them, but think melody. The melody has to be strong. Play 100 guide tone lines. Literally play hundreds of guide tone lines. Start rubato and go, go, go. Start on different starting points in the chord and different places on the saxophone. This will help you get so much overview in the chords which we need to play great solos. I advise you to check this video, see the link in the description, the jazz chords. I just mentioned that above, but this describes the guide tone line, how you're going to play this. I'll work from the guide tone line on the first 8 bars of Take the A Train, starting with a random guide tone line working out the chord note solo. To learn to play this guide tone very well. Play it a lot. This is the guide tone line I'm going to expand on in this video, so learn it by heart. Use rhythm. We want to be flexible in playing this guide tone line. We want to work towards playing a solo on this guide tone line, on the chords. Play the guide tone line with different rhythms. And 1, 2, 3. Just taking the rhythms one by one. Next rhythm, number 2. 1, 2, 3. Next rhythm, 1, 2, 3. And the last rhythm, 1, 2, 3. Improvise, guide tone line and more chord notes. When you know the guide tone very well, you play all these rhythms hundreds of times, when you are able to play different rhythms and play these freely, we add more chord notes. The idea is to add the chord note right under or right above the chord note of the guide tone line, always staying on the guide tone line as a line through the tune. In this example, I have added the note right under my guide tone line. So play it through, taking it slowly, one time rubato to get into this and adding more notes. I'm working with the 7th chords of all the chords. No 9 chords, just 7 chords. Slowly, rubato. Play through with a play along or metronome. I found this play along on YouTube. I just played the first 8 bars of this tune with a play along. Spice it up, quarter notes. Play the guide tone line and add quarter note rhythms. I'll play the guide tone line 2 times of the A part of this Take the A Train tune and just add some quarter note rhythms in the same guide tone line. Still using 2 notes per bar. Get used to playing back and forth with the quarter notes, take it up a notch. More spice, 8 notes. Add more rhythm at the 8 notes. It's most important that you keep swinging. The 8 notes give this great swing into it. Add even more chord notes. Add notes is important to get the feel of a real solo. I'm working with the 9 chords, so this means I'm considering the 9th as one of the basic chord notes which I can use in this method of improvising. Adding more chord note steps under the guide tone line. Start rubato, play through with no timing, just run down these chords from the guide tone line. Then add a beat or play along. Still taking the very easy, just play the 3 notes with this beat or with this play along. I found this one on YouTube, so check it out. Rhythm to the whole thing. We just had the quarter notes, so I just played 3 quarter notes almost every bar. Sometimes I played a couple of 8 notes, but add rhythm now. So start fooling around with this. Add quarter notes, maybe add more quarter notes, maybe add 4 quarter notes to the 4 bar, or add 8 notes, add a half note. Don't play all the notes. There are tons of possibilities to this. Let's start playing with these 3 chord notes under the guide tone line. Much more chord note solos. There is so much you can pull out of this way of playing solos. Adding more notes under the guide tone lines. Adding more notes above the guide tone lines. Making other guide tone lines with more notes above and under. Unlimited rhythms added. In the chord note solo manual, Effortless Soloing with Chord Notes, I have added tons of examples on how you can play solos with chord notes. Using a guide tone line, using approach note, playing chords up, playing chords down from the guide tone line, playing towards a guide tone line, and of course, how to get more free in just playing solos with chord notes. Check the link in the description below. Show, play and analyze a short solo on Take the A Train using chord notes and guide tone lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the guide tone line that I'm playing from, marked in red. So the C sharp in the 2nd bar to the A, the 3rd bar to the G sharp, the 4th bar, an A sharp to the 5th bar, a B, 6th bar, an A, 7th bar, keeping on that A, and the 8th bar, just an A again. Playing down the D major chord 7, 5, 3 on that D major 7 chord. Down the D major 7 again, up that B minor triad, adding a chromatic approach note, the A sharp in front of it, ending the arpeggio on the G sharp, that's the 3rd of the E7 sharp 11. Playing between the sharp 11 and the 3rd of the E7 sharp 11, the A sharp and the G sharp. Playing a classic lick on the E minor 7 from the 5th and down the triad to the 5th, 1 octave below, surrounding the C sharp of the A7 with the D and the B of the E minor 7. A beautiful minor 6th jump from the 3rd of the A7 to the root of the A7. Playing a sequence of the D major 7, the 3rd to the 5th and the 9 to the 5th. Repeating the sequence but changing the rhythm a bit on the A7 from the 3rd to the root and from the 9th to the 7th. Much more chord note solos. In relation to the material I've presented in this tutorial, I have 2 other videos which I mentioned earlier. Go ahead and check them. So really check them here. Also see them in the description below. All questions are welcome and I would love to help if I can. Please share your questions in the comments below. And if you like, you are very much welcome to like and share my videos. All links mentioned in this video are available below in the description. Play music and have fun.